everybody.
Hello, welcome back to NT Elevation. Again, the name comes from obviously Tess and I's name. I'm Nicholas.
I'm Tess, and obviously the elevation part comes from, we do live in Colorado, so, why not?
So today we did a beginning episode just kind of explaining what this was going to be. So today we're going to explain a little bit about us in the sense of how we met, the engagement if people were curious about that, and a little bit about wedding planning and all that. We're also going to be asking you guys, for questions, and maybe, even like later on we might ask if you guys would be interested in us doing certain types of videos or certain types of things.
Car.
So take your turn.
Oh, okay.
So basically, to start off with, I guess, would be how we met. And we met at work.
Yep.
A place called Baumgar's.
Neither one of us work there anymore, but it was almost 4 years ago at this point.
Yeah. And so we met. Obviously didn't talk a whole lot right away and all that.
No.
It wasn't like a year afterwards and all that we started talking.
Well, because I was with someone else at that point when you started there. So that wasn't at the time, as terrible as it sounds, my main focus.
Yep. So we started talking and texting and all that, and then we hung out a couple times, and then eventually we had our first official date at Estes. And then, ironically enough, that was also where we got engaged as well.
We, over the course of our dating, have gone to Estes a lot, so it was just kind of one of those things where it was
it's nice and convenient and
yeah,
really beautiful, obviously, up there and all that for those who have been up there. So we got engaged up there. We went up there, did a little trip up there. Tess didn't really have an idea. I worked with our manager at that time and made sure that we had the days off in order to be able to.
And I honestly at that point was just excited going up to the mountains in the winter.
Yep. And so then we went and we were walking through the shops and all that. Some of you guys know about that. And then after we walked through the shops, we got to, there's a little area with rivers.
I mean, also at the same time too though, Estes is pretty nice in the winter because it's not like a tourist central, but it is a very touristy spot during the summer. So the wintertime was nice because it was definitely more,
there was a lot less
private feeling.
Yes. So we went close to a little river area, and that's where I proposed.
Yup.
And all that. So, and then, we spent the rest of the day, we walked around, we did a little bit of a hike during that trip.
The hike was pretty gorgeous too.
Yep, walked around Lake Estes.
That was fun.
It
kind of got cold though, because the wind picked up. Whew.
The wind and a little bit of snow and moisture that was up there.
Yep. But.
And then, now obviously we are planning on getting married.
And that in itself hasn't been as stressful as I thought it would be. But also at the same time, there's a lot of places that take advantage of getting married.
It's definitely been an adventure.
An expensive one. I mean, we've been done a pretty good job of keeping it under budget, but visiting venues, you kind of get a feel of how much people actually put into weddings. You always assume it's a lot. At least,
or how much you can put into a wedding.
At least kind of girls also think that, where they're they just keep going and going, and they're holy.
So, we finally got a place for the reception. We have a place where we're going to have the ceremony. Now we're kind of going into finer details of things. Tess already has her dress.
That was one of the first things I found, shockingly enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe most people do it that way, girls do it that way. I don't know.
And then I'm still trying to get a suit, jacket now and all that, and then vest and ties is the other thing we got to get and all that.
Which is interesting. That became more of an interesting problem than getting a wedding dress, because he wanted to get a suit that was more custom fit instead of renting.
that way I can have it for future things and all that. But
That turned out to be a trial and tribulation.
well, and it doesn't help. Again, like for those who know me and those who don't know me, I have a very small, tiny, slender body and all that. So finding the right sizes is a little bit harder because of my stature and everything else. So, but yeah, and so we did find a website, Zola. Some people I know have already heard of it. It's a little wedding website that we found, and we were kind of like, oh, we'll just get ideas from it. We probably won't use it to its full extent. It was free.
But that website's been
And then-
super helpful.
Yeah, we got our save the dates on there. We now created a website on there.
A registry too.
A registry. Yeah, we've done a lot on there.
Like, highly recommended if anybody's planning on getting married to use Zola.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and it even has like where you can still shop on it for like home goods, so it's not even just a wedding site. But
And it kind of helps you too with venues.
and the fact that again it is free,
Yeah.
like that's so helpful. And I'm sure there's like extra fees in there, like if you did do venues or certain things like that. But for us and what we've done so far, we've just paid for our,
Well, on the website, like, we paid for
Website
the
was-
save the dates.
and that's it.
Yeah, because the website
was
itself
free.
was free.
So yeah, so it's been fun planning and all that. We've got lots of people who have been helping us out, so it's also been helping us save money. We've
Yep.
got a good friend who's making the cake for us. We've got another good friend who's going to help make bouquets and boutonnieres.
Yep. Shout out to my bridesmaids.
And
Being creative.
we've got, thankfully we've got the church I grew up in, doing a ceremony there, so that's free.
Yeah,
and all
so
that. So we've been very blessed and very lucky to have, people who are willing to help us figure things out and make it as cheap as possible and all that. Family's been helping us a lot, friends been helping us a lot and all that, and
well,
so,
even like minus that fact though, like we've been doing a pretty good job with everything else, like the venue. My dress was actually pretty cheap. It was under $1,000, and on top of that, it was also on sale already. So like, we've already been doing a pretty good job of keeping it as a comfortable budget as we could. So
because obviously we're gonna have to, we're gonna be buying a house and all this other
Mhm.
stuff, so we've got extra expenses. We both have newer cars and all that. Like I think I've had mine now for 2-3 years. I think Tessa.
I've had mine for 4.
Yeah, so
Love my little
like,
Renegade.
so we've got car payments that we're making and all that. So
Ooh, really short now.
so we've got payments and all this other stuff that we're trying to make too, on top of trying to plan the wedding. So that's kind of also why we went cheaper. And also, if you do know us and all that, we're not big flashy people and all that.
Yeah, I don't really like being like on the spotlight, which is also weird why we're like filming too. Because that's like a very in the spotlight thing. Like, not really, because it's like not in a crowd. 2, I don't have to like give a speech in front of like a ton of people. Like, I don't hate giving speeches, but it's definitely more of like a nope, everybody's looking at me, can't.
And honestly, if we make something or we say something and we're like, ooh, I didn't like that, I said that, we can take it out.
Yeah, right.
As you guys probably noticed in the last video, like there was very mild editing, like where we cut off a little bit at the beginning, cut off a little bit at the end, and added a little title thing.
We had a kind of
We're-
a struggle with our like editing software we had originally got.
Yeah, so if you guys have recommendations, if some of you guys have recommendations for editing software that that's pretty easy and good and all that, like please let us know.
Right?
Right now we're just using GoPro's Quick, and I did it on my phone actually.
Which was cool,
So-
and that's nifty.
Yes.
The other one we were using was Adobe Premium Pro, but like,
It didn't work on my laptop, which again, those of you don't know, I have a gaming laptop, which means it's supposed to be a little bit higher processor. It's a couple years old, so but I would hope that's not too bad.
but I mean, that's what we didn't understand, because it was like, the thing we had was, it's a gaming laptop, and it said it didn't, like, the file wasn't compatible, but he also uses, there's dogs barking, so apologize for that. But,
And then and it was also like the video card wasn't the right video card they wanted, so I know a little bit about computers and all that, Dad's IT and all that, but like I don't know enough more about that kind of aspect of it. I'm
yeah, so
sure
if you guys have any suggestions or tips, appreciate it.
we will actually absolutely take it. And then to end this video, we're just asking again for, we might do a video if we get enough questions on, a
Well,
Q&A for
yeah.
us. and
So
all
if
that.
you guys have any questions about us
can
or
be-
anything
yeah.
related,
It can be about both of us. It can be just about, like, for one of us and all that. Like, you know Tess and you want to know a little bit more about me, you can ask me questions. If you know me and you want to know a little bit more about Tess, you can ask her.
or if you just have kind of like generalizations about, not really where we live, but like the state we live in.
Yeah, like, so any questions you have, feel free to send it to us. You can, again, send us through our messengers or text or however you have communication with us.
Yep, and if
Um,
that's like mostly towards family, if you're just new to the channel, you can leave a comment below.
Yeah, say, or comment below, it works too. And then suggestions of video ideas. I mean, we're gonna probably film us playing putt-putt, we're gonna film hikes and all that eventually.
Probably more into the wedding process too a little bit. I don't know
Yeah.
how detailed. That's one of those things you got to make sure everybody's comfortable with.
And so, but other ideas we had of doing, in the far future, would be just fun little, like, us just doing fun, silly things. So, like, doing, like, ranking videos, doing, like,
Hot
Korean
sauce
masks,
challenge. Yeah.
hot sauce challenges with friends, just different
Maybe a
things.
couple little hiking videos, because, why not?
So,
Some gorgeous hikes around
like, if
here.
you guys have any suggestions, or you like something that we did say or mention and said you guys you think would love to see something, let us know. Like,
Yep.
we want to know and all that. Again, this is going to be updating our lives now, but we want to do some fun videos in between too, and we can even still be talking about ourselves while we're doing these challenges.
Or you can just watch us all goof around and have fun with our friends, and then you guys can kind of enjoy that too.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but with that, I think we're done, wrapped up.
Yep.